Prenatal and postnatal services are also provided to needy cases.
Prisoners, we can call them our clients. We don't usually call them prisoners because they are the ones who make us be where we are. So we receive them in a normal way, and as they come in, we are able to settle them down through psychological counseling. And in this way, they are able to know how to relate with the staff members who are come across. And some of them may come with a lot of shock because it is not a new environment for some of them. The trauma of being away from their families and being incarcerated. So our Directorate, Rehabilitation and Welfare, has been able to reach them, to be able to settle them down. And after settling, we give them encouragement. And through encouragement, they also help them to reach their families. And in the prisons, the prison has also improved on the nutritional side so that they are able now to feed well. The food is balanced. And even those who are accompanied by their children, they are able to be provided. In fact, the children are not prisoners anymore because they are free, only that they were young. They would not be left behind.
At the age of 4 years, these children will be separated from their mothers and handed over to relatives or to children's homes. Meanwhile, their parents continue undergoing rehabilitation process, which includes taking up various vocational courses.
Langata is a maximum facility catering for, prisoners who are serving very long sentences, up to life imprisonment. This therefore requires that we give them, various and integrated rehabilitative programs. We engage them in the industry, whereby they are taught a lot of various trades. The same inmates, some of them also find themselves in school. Like we run from class 1 to class 8 and from form 1 to form 4. The inmates are also taught computer, so they do different packages. We have also incorporated baking as one of the programs that we are running in Langata Women Prison.
Langata Women Prison has been identified as one of the best reformed jail in this world. And that's why you could see, like here, they are talking about prisons. She runs world's top reform jail. You see, and these are the prisoners. These are prisoners who are undergoing training.
These inmates at Committee Maximum Security Prison are by now qualified to do it without much technical supervision. The situation is similar in every prison, where inmates make their own uniforms, as well as that for prison officers in their respective stations.
Committee Maximum Security Prison started way back in the mid-1950s. We have over 3,000 inmates, composed of those who are imprisoned for life. We have also those who have got long years. And also we have prisoners who are in the remand, and also those who have been condemned by the law courts.
In all, the Kenyan prison inmates undergo relevant vocational training in various fields such as carpentry, metalworks, upholstery, and basketry, amongst others.
Prison enterprises comprises of farms and industries. So with us, with the farms and industries, we are focused to rehabilitate prisoners through training. The training in farms and industries. We have done quite a lot. We participate during the shows, and those items you see during the shows, which you do exhibit, they are manufactured by the prisoners. We have instructors who are highly qualified to transform these people into useful citizens immediately after they leave the prisons department. That's why we focus on rehabilitation through training. We achieved this trophy during the International Trade Fair, and these are the products which were exhibited by the prisoners countrywide. They make items, we do take them there to tell the public that we are doing very well, and that's why we are able to be given this trophy by Nairobi International Trade Fair.
The place placement of an inmate in a particular program depends on his or her background, literacy level, and interest. Inmates are offered chances to sit for trade tests, and those who qualify stand a chance to be employed after their release. Besides vocational training, inmates are also put through formal education, where some excel in national exams. One such student emerged amongst the best in the country after scoring an A- in secondary examinations. Inmates with teaching background or those who did well in school take up the role of teachers. Rehabilitation also entails giving the inmates spiritual counseling and education to influence behavioral change. Computer training has been introduced in prisons. We are at Naivasha Maximum Security Prison, and I'm standing in front of the Inmates Education Center. At this center, learning takes place, and we have classes from Class 1 to Form 4.
It is evident that reforms that were put in place are actually being implemented well. Inmates are taking their classes very seriously. In fact, Naivasha is the prison that produced the A- student. We'll talk to the principal of the Education Center. He'll give us more insight into what happens at the Naivasha Inmates Education Center.
I'm an inmate serving life sentence. Naivasha Inmates Education Program started way back in the year 1979, and its main objective is to eradicate illiteracy among inmates. And the second objective of this program is to help inmates who never pass through formal education out there to know how to read and write.
The Kenya Prison Service has put up health centers in some prisons and established a health directorate at the headquarters to coordinate health issues. Physical and mental health of both prisoners and staff is closely related as they share the same environment and vectors. Currently, there's a Departmental AIDS Control Unit, ACU, leading in the fight with support from the government and donors. There are 31 VCT centers across the prisons which serve inmates, staff, and members of the neighboring communities. Prisons have put up modern, efficient, and energy-saving kitchen facilities. The new diet has been in place for prisoners since the year 2003. The quality is amazing, just as is the quantity.
About 2 years back, the kitchen was pathetic, because it was in the state that it was in way back in 1911. It has stayed that way for years and years and years. But 2 years back, we felt that the kitchen is vital, because if you go wrong in the kitchen and you are feeding over 3,000 prisoners, you can imagine the repercussions of an outbreak of a disease in the institution. The institution introduced economical GECOs that we have realized are working wonders for us, because with the economical GECOs, we've realized that the food is prepared well, it's well cooked, because it cooks evenly and it cooks in a very short time. And again, we save a lot on wood fuel, because we use wood fuel to prepare our meals for the prisoners.
Information communication and technology development has made data collection and storage efficient, which is vital for planning and also makes office operations effective and timely. This was envisaged to revolutionize not only prisoner and staff data and records, but to enhance transmission of vital court documents for processing of appeals and trials. Modern technology is also being used in prisons to enhance security through automated surveillance systems and efficiency of trial mechanisms via video link.
The institution has gone ahead and put in place CCTV, especially at the gate lodge where the prisoners come in, where the inflow and outflow of prisoners is mainly concentrated at. So the CCTVs have helped us, because we're able to monitor anybody coming in, anybody going out. The CCTVs are also placed in the visiting bays, so that we're able to monitor how the prisoners are conducting themselves while being visited by their friends and relatives from outside, such that at the end of the day we can be able to roll back and see how we've done our business from unlock of the prisoners to the lockup of the prisoners.
Modern staff houses have been constructed in various stations, as it is the responsibility of the Kenya Prison Service to provide accommodation to the staff. Since 2003, considerable work and resources have gone into refurbishing prison wards and cells, including putting up new ones. This block under construction at Committee Maximum Security Prison meets the international standards of prisoner accommodation. In collaboration with stakeholders, some prisoners can now access paralegal services.
It is a partnership between the Kenya Prison Service and about 19 NGOs who have chosen Legal Resources Foundation to be the lead agency. It educates prisoners on their rights and basic elements of law so that they can self-represent in courts. You know, the majority of prisoners are offenders who are poor and the indigent among society.
Corruption in recruitment and promotions and postings, as well as nepotism and related malpractices, were commonplace for many years. But since 2003, it has been all systems go in addressing this challenge. The department has introduced a scheme of service for staff to ensure succession management through structured promotion. Promotion boards have also been strengthened to manage promotions in the service with emphasis on merit, academic qualifications, professionalism and integrity.
The perception of corruption actually arises out of maybe some of the practices that are by and large unilateral or unexplained. So we have instituted boards and committees to address every issue, staffing matters, deployment issues, appeals, promotions, and all the things that affect the conduct of prison business, including procurement. So we are increasing transparency by making sure that we involve the relevant personnel, and also when we make decisions, we broadcast them, as it were, to all our staff, all and sundry, so that there is nothing done unprocedurally, so to speak, within the service. We are committed to ensuring that we have zero tolerance to corruption. And we know that old habits die hard. Among the things which we are also doing to make sure that we uproot the environment which encourages corruption is to make sure that we move our staff frequently.
To further look into the welfare of prison staff, a secondary school, the Magereza Academy, is under construction in Naivasha. The school will admit children of members of staff as well as from the neighboring community. The infrastructural status of existing primary and secondary schools in prisons is being addressed within the reform program. At the Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru, the Kenya Prison Service has developed a training curriculum to prepare prison officers on crucial human rights related issues.
The college goes back to 1954. It was started as a training school at Committee, and then in 1964 it moved to Langata, opposite Wilson Airport. We still have a prison there. So that is where the training college moved. But then it was seen that the facilities were not adequate.